All right, we're loading up. What to do? What to do? Hmm. All right, well, as I said before, we have a couple of puzzles. Okay, so here let's quickly just recap the things that are open in our mind. One, we do not have all the letters of all the rooms for the artwork on the walls. The artwork in every room has a letter code associated with it, and the layout of the house ends up giving us a message through that letter code. We are about halfway through that, maybe a little bit more than halfway through that, but as we get to the back of the house, we have to prioritize getting artwork letters for specific rooms. Number 2, we know how to solve the chess puzzle in the caverns under the house on the cliffside. But in order to do that, I am almost certain we need to have the master bedroom and her ladyship's room in the same build, which we have not managed to do, not even once. So I think her ladyship's room requires the boudoir and the walk-in closet, and then you can get ladyship's room. Something like that, I think, is what was suggested in the game. And then when we drafted the master bedroom, but we weren't able to unlock it. I think because we didn't have the gems or something. We had the study, and I don't know what else would have maybe been required for the master bedroom. We haven't found any information about that. That being said, in the bookstore, there's a couple of other drafting guides. And I think if we buy the rest of the drafting guides, those might give us the clues we need to exactly what the requirements are for those late game rooms. So we might want to prioritize the bookstore and buying some of the drafting guides so that we can get more information about how to draft specific rooms that we're looking for. What else? We need to draft the pool and then the pump room. And then we need to try to take one water level, just one, out of the reservoir, because the reservoir down in the basement has that boat crossing and it's flooded only a little bit. So I think if we take one water level, not drain the whole thing, because to do that, we'll need to bring power to the pump room, and that's a whole nother mission. If we end up being able to do that, great. But I don't think we'll be able to, I don't think we prioritize that right now. I think what we prioritize... How many rooms are you still missing? That's an interesting question. So we're going to, in the pump room, we want to drain by 1. So let's see. Rooms that I'm missing in the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rooms. 9 basic rooms. Then let's see. The 1 bedroom, which is the master bedroom. 1 hallway, 2 green rooms, one of which is the secret garden, which we did get a key for, but then weren't able to do anything with it. 2 shops, and no red rooms. And then found floor plans. We have the planetarium, the mechanarium, and the tunnel, which ain't too bad. If we could draft the tunnel, we could get to the back of the house for the letter puzzles. Okay. I still don't have room 1, and it drives me nuts. But this is a puzzle. The fact that room 1, after 20-something runs, has not been revealed to us is a clue to something, is a puzzle of some sort in and of itself. And it is kind of driving me mad that I haven't unlocked what should be the first room of the house, which is not the entrance hall, which you would think would default to being the first room, given that it is the room we start in every day. But it's not, and I don't know why. So this is also on my mind and kind of driving me crazy. We also have the music sheets open. We need to find music sheet 5, 6. Do we have 1 through 5? Hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. So we're missing. Go ahead and say it, chat. We're missing 6 and 7. Much to everyone's delight. And then as far as letters go, we're missing the entire top row of the house on either side of the antechamber. We're missing 2 letters below that, and then 1 below that for 3 levels. So the first half of the house, we have all the letters in place, if that makes sense. So if I go to the map here, these 4 rooms at the top, we need all 4 of these letters. We're missing 2 from this row, and then 1, 1, and 1. And then the rest of the house, we have all the letters in the first half. The first 4 are all done. Okay, and then also, while we're here, they're permanent additions. There's definitely a 4th permanent addition that I do not know where it's going to be, because we have the cavern, the orchard, and the west gate path, which is the only thing on the left side when you're facing the house. And so I thought maybe that the caverns or the elevator or something was going to be this 4th thing, and it's not. So we need to figure out what this 4th permanent addition is. I think that's something that's just going to take us by surprise, but we also still have blessings of the high roller, which means when we draft shops, we get dice, that's kind of cool, I guess. Let's pick up our allowance because we earned it. Thank you very much. Okay. I think let's go let's go head over to the outer room. We'll draft the outer room first. We'll see what we get. Okay, we have a tool shed for 2 special items. The schoolhouse adds the 8 classrooms. Oh, how many classrooms did we get? 3? Did I take note of how many classrooms we've unlocked? I must have, right? I also have my list of staff, but it's not quite... Oh, we also have an admin key for the terminal that was given to Denny Ravane, and we have his admin key. So the next time we're in a room with a computer, we might want to try using the admin key to see if that does something. I mean, it must do something. It gave us a code. Let me just... the maps. Here is the... Oh, yeah, the flag colors was one of the schoolroom things. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I never noticed that. That's what room 1 is. Okay, so I have a picture. Let's see if I could show you guys this picture real quick. Can you see this picture? Anyway, it's so small. I know it's not helpful. It's a piece of paper. It has the layout of the rooms. It says the antechamber is sealed. There's 9 ranks, which is the row of rooms going up. There's 2 wings, which is either side of the house. And then at the bottom, it says 2 starting rooms. So there's a way to change the entrance hall into a different starting room, and that is going to be room 1. Look at this graph. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've only gotten 3 classrooms before. If we take the schoolhouse, it'll add the classrooms to our build, or we can take special items instead. The trading post comes with a dynamite, but we can't grab the dynamite for whatever reason. I don't know how we grab the dynamite, but at some point we need something specific to interact with the dynamite in the trading post. I don't know how that works either. Do I want a tool shed to try to get some items to maybe craft? Or do I want to push for the schoolrooms? Hope I didn't miss too much. Light and darkness, we only just begun. We have only just begun, and in a few minutes we have ads, so we're going to take a break in a sec. So this, if we go for the tool shed, then our goal for the run is going to be to get some letters in the back of the house, and also to try to pull the workshop and see if we can craft the fire item, which I think requires the metal detector and the magnifying glass. If we get the schoolhouse, we're going for schoolrooms, right? And same thing, but we're going to prioritize schoolrooms. Let's go for the items, I guess. All right, we got the sledgehammer and the shovel. I mean, 2 good items for sure. And I think that means we can craft the jackhammer, right? And then maybe we could take the jackhammer and we can go into the basement. No, we can't go into the basement where we need to because... Oh, no, we can because it's down the stairs. We can. So, okay, if we could find the workshop, we might be able to make use of this combination. We need the battery for the jackhammer too, right? Oh, maybe. Maybe, yeah. That could be the case. Two items in the closet. The bedroom. The den. Let's take the bedroom right away. It's because I feel like if we take a lot of bedrooms, then we have a higher chance of unlocking the ladies' room, the master lady room. You know what I mean? Hello? All right, we're going to ads in a sec. Let's draft. It's kind of, we'll take the storeroom. Okay. We're going to take our 2 keys and our gem. We're going to look at this lock. We're going to look at this clock. And we will know that this room is a C. Okay. So we did one of the we did a little Tetris L, which is kind of a shit decision because now like to get down here we have to like go around the storeroom, but like whatever. I feel like maybe we want to start drafting faster and just kind of doing faster runs than taking really really long time for runs. Mr. Hyena cheered 100 bits. Thanks very much. When you first started voicing Riku, did that happen in Japan or in America? If it happened in Japan, did you need to learn Japanese for the job or not? No. The Japanese voice acting are done by Japanese voice actors. And then Disney, because obviously Kingdom Hearts is Square and Disney, the American side of the voice acting originally was handled through Disney. And so I was brought onto the project by the Disney voice director, and it was all recorded here in LA, and the American voice acting was hired like through the American like Disney team. The first run back doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I know.
Have you forgotten already who I am?
Shannon Amore is in the house. Hey, Shannon, what's up? What's up? Oh, yeah, get up on the Hydra's back. Ashley Annie's in the house. What's up? Thank you guys for coming through. Crazy how completing the game can take over 100 hours. There's lots of games that take over 100 hours, though. I mean, 100 hours for completing a game is kind of like a pretty standard ask, I think, these days for like a full-sized game experience. You know? There's plenty of games you could dump a lot more hours into than that. But for a game with like, I think for an indie game, 100 hours is huge. It's a lot of content for an indie. Get up on the Hydra's back. Yeah. Dropping by on a Thursday randomly. Nice, Ashley. I appreciate it. Welcome to drop in anytime. Meanwhile, Persona 5 taking over 500 hours, apparently. We're about 100 hours into Persona 5, I think. We should be just around 100 hours. And from what I understand, the game normally takes more than that. And I could see why, you know? We did a lot of, we made a lot of progress in Persona last time, though. I know that the past few Persona streams, I've been cutting it a bit short. My patience for it has been a bit short lately, but last time we got more stuff done, and we're kind of ready for the next palace now, which I think will be fun. I have 100 hours in Power Wash 2. Nice. By the way, we're going to play some Power Wash 2 on Saturday. That's going to be our community day this week. We're going to play some Power Wash 2 because apparently the multiplayer like delay issue with Power Wash 2 has been kind of sorted out. So I do want to play more Power Wash 2. I've only played it the one time we played it on stream, and I am looking forward to getting further into the Power Wash 2 like maps and stuff, because I think all we washed was like a car and like a bathroom, and like that was it. So like I want to get into some of the bigger maps. Animal Crossing New Horizons, yeah, I definitely have like 300 plus hours in Animal Crossing New Horizons, I think pretty easily. And I only played it for like 6 months, but I was playing it through COVID. Like Shauna and I lived on our islands during COVID. That was like a lot of people, that was our COVID fix was Animal Crossing. We just stayed home and played that like all day.
You're kidding, right?
You know, Lily was like 3 You know, so like we had a little 3-year-old and we were just home playing Animal Crossing. Ray Smash Brawl in the house. What's up, Ray? So yeah, I have an absolute metric ton of hours in Animal Crossing New Horizons, even though I haven't played it in a very long time in any kind of serious way. All right, let's go back. Let's hustle. Let's get our hustle on. And we'll go this way now. Let's head this way. Guest bedroom. Dead end, though. Really annoying. We'll take the den. We'll take the den. We'll get the gem. Thank you very much. Is there a box in here? Sometimes there's like a little loot box in here. All right. The bunk room counts as 2 bedrooms. You know what? Excellent. We'll take the bunk room. It'll count as 2 bedrooms, and it also will give us 2 bananas. I'll take them. We have 2 pawns in here. We've already have a ton of pawns all over the build. Pawns in the bunk room. We got pawns in the den. We got pawns in the storage room. All right, let's go up. You know what? I'll take the guest bedroom. We'll just go ham on bedrooms. For this early in the run. Maybe it'll pay off, even though we're kind of like blocking ourselves off. We'll see if we can like maybe get lucky with our RNG, right? Because look, now we're blocked everywhere, but we already have 3 bedrooms. So if we can manage to get some good RNG on rooms splitting up into here, then maybe it'll be worth it to have so many bedrooms that early. Okay, the corridor. Yeah, the corridor is perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. So we're through the corridor. And now we can nook. We can nook for the rook. You know what I'm saying? Or we can pantry for some coins and also some steps. You know what? We'll take the pantry. We'll take the pantry for coins. And steps. Num, num, num. Give me the coins. What's in here? Indoor nursery. Oh, yeah. The passageway. And the closet. Oh, this is really bad, isn't it? We can, the passageway kind of gets us out of, it takes our gems, but you know what? We need to push on our, that's blocked off. Let's keep going to the side. Okay, we can also take the West Wing Hall, which will allow us to get this little back room here. And you know what? We'll take the parlor. We'll take the parlor, and we'll get our box puzzle on, because we're freaking undefeated, right? All right. The black box says only one box displays a true statement. The white box says the gems are in the white box. And the blue box says the gems are in the black box. Okay, so the gems are in the white box and the gems are in the black box. If both of these are false, then only one box has a true statement, which would be that one box has a true statement and the gems would be in here. So that's a solution that actually works. Because if the gems are not in the black box, oh, wait. The gems are in the black box. Gems are in the white box. Only one box is true, and then they would be in here. So they would be in the blue box in that case. My bad, my bad. So that's if this statement is true, then both of these have to be false, right? Now, if this statement is true, the gems are in the white box, then this would have, like, both of these can't be true because they say the gems are in two different boxes. Okay, so if this statement is correct, the gems are in the white box, then this statement must be false. The gems are in the black box. And only one box displays a true statement would also be true. If this were true, then this would have to be false, right? Because for this to be true, for this statement to be true, then this statement would have to be false. Only one box. Displays a true statement. As soon as you make this statement true about another box, this statement then is false, which doesn't make any sense, right? Like, that's the crutch of this puzzle. Because if only one statement is true, and this, if this statement is true and only one statement is true, then both of these have to be false. Otherwise, this is true, and then one of these are true, which then makes that means this has to be false because you can't have two true statements. So that's like a paradox right there in that loop, which tells me that for this to be true and both of these to be false, the gems are in the white box, the gems are in the black box, are both false. This is true, which means the gems are in the blue box. There it is. Noodle is noodling. Yeah, no, I mean, it's... this one was probably maybe the most confusing one that we've run into so far, but it's only because as soon as you make this statement true about another box, then this then has to be false, like after the fact. So then you have this weird loop, right? And that doesn't work. So we got to the bottom of that. It was a little weird, but we did it. Okay, let's check the edge of the house first. We can get the garage. The garage will give us 3 keys, which would be really nice. The hallway closet will give us 1 extra item if drafted onto a hallway. We are indeed in a hallway. So we could do a dead end for this, but I think maybe we get the garage and we take the keys. 3 keys from the garage. The keys really did save us. Kind of make or break us. In one of our last runs. Hallway closet. 1 extra item if drafted adjoined to a hallway. But the items in the closet are always little items, right? They're never like bigger items.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Everyone's going to bingo. What's up, Harry? Perry's in the house. I'm taking the garage for the keys. I don't know why. I'm just, I don't want to overthink the first run. Give me keys. Okay, we got 3 keys. We can't open the garage because we don't have power. We need the room, the breaker room to do that. We already know the letters of this room and all that stuff. There's this letter to Christoph. And Christoph, do we have him down as the driver? Yes, the driver is Christoph. So that makes sense. We have none of these are interactable. We have this box we can kind of break into, but not until we like open up the car. So whatever. We're going to take our keys and we're going to get out of here. All right. Hopefully this generation doesn't screw the run. Here we go. Ew, the furnace. The commissary is a dead end. Ah, the gym. All right, we got to take the gym. That was not a great generation. Is there anything redeemable about the gym in here? No. There's no keys or anything. All right, whatever. We got lots of keys, so we're good on a locked door. Let's see the hallway. The hallway goes straight across. The drawing room. Oh, why isn't the drawing room flipped around? That's kind of annoying. I wish the drawing room was turned over. It would make the game a lot easier if you could orient the rooms, like when you draft them. Like, I'd take this drawing room, but turn it 180 degrees so that we have the 2 doors we need. That would be excellent. But and the same with the hallway. Like, why is it doing that? Let's take the drawing room so that we have some drafting. Well, we only get 1 door to mess with, so I guess we don't really have options, but also, I'm pretty sure this is a puzzle. The drawing room has these arrows on everyone's feet and these different orientations, like the distance of their feet or whatever. The horse, there's like all these different and I just don't know what to make of it other than it must be a clue to something. All right. Okay. The chapel, boo. The utility closet dead ends us. The secret passage. We're going to redraw. Hallway closet, boo. The locksmith dead ends us. Why is our generation so aggressively against us? Why? Okay, whatever. The Nook turns us down. The billiard room turns us up. All right, we'll take the billiard room, right? We don't really have much of a choice. This dead ends us eventually. We'll take the billiard room. All right, let's do a billiard puzzle. First, we'll take a quick glance around and make sure, where are we? We're on the 4th tier of the house, so we still don't need letters. Let's make sure there's no, like, coins in the bar or anything. Okay. Okay. 16. 3 and 6 is 9. Times 2 is 18. Yes. KRPG with the resub. 9 months. K, it's the sub, baby. Thanks so much, K, for the 9-month resub. Hell yeah. 2 and 1 is 3. Times 1 is still 3. Times 6 is 18. 20 times 20 divided by 20. is 20? 20, 20, 20, 20, 20? The key card. All right. Well, we got a key card. I hope that helps. Ooh, the workshop. Okay, we're getting the workshop for sure. What's the room on the 5th tier that we need? It's the room all the way on the other side. Okay, we're taking the workshop for sure. Hopefully the battery's in here. Battery. Huh. Well, it's the metal detector. That ain't bad. Then we got a T. Then we look here. It's the tag and the tree. Oh, it's a 10 and a tent, which gives us a T. Okay. Metal detector plus the shovel plus the key card. Metal detector and the shovel. Give us the detector shovel, which I think we had, right? But that's not what we're looking for. We want the jackhammer. The detector shovel. I think we had the detector shovel, like before. Okay. The greenhouse. All right, we could take the nook or the dark room. Let's see. Where can we gotta salvage the run with some letters or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this goes 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get up and over. That would be really good. By 2 rooms over. We need that letter. All right. The nook is. It's a very singular path through the house, which is the nook. Of course, has a rook. The nook rook is known to us, and is a part of the puzzle that we need to get to. Ooh, the dining room goes up and down, but not across, which is, of course, the laboratory is a dead end, and this only goes down, and that is a pain. Okay. Okay. We'll take the dining room, right? It's a free room. It gives us 2 paths, which is good. We still have lots of steps, which is nice. Let's work our way back. Let's try to work our way back. The rumpus room. Dang, the rumpus room. All right, we got to take the rumpus room, right? Because then we're going to be able to talk to the machine. God, what did the machine tell us last time? Oh, we don't see this room too often. Okay. Oh, look at this. What is that? Lockpick. Occasionally be able to unlock some normal doors. Oh, shit. We got a lockpick kit. That's kind of dope. All right. All right. Tell us. Tell us the secrets. This is such an excellent voice work.
You find yourself face to face with the Great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
That'd be nice.
Yes,
Yes.
the fog is clearing.
Oh, nice.
I see a shadow in the doorway.
Okay.
Silent footsteps in the hallways. An unlatched gate you did not open. A missing item you did not take. I see a young boy watched from afar. A young boy who once was brave, but now afraid. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Yo, hold on a second. An item we did not take. How dare you? That it looked like the bunk room. It looked like the kids' bunk room, and there was an item on the shelf that like was sitting there that maybe now we can grab it, but we couldn't before. We also saw a hallway door to the darkness. We also saw the dark room, and it looked like behind the dark room was the nursery, which I don't know if like we have to attach those two rooms, but like that would be hard to do because the dark room doesn't let you see what you're drafting, which would make it hard to do. Okay. We need this room, the letter. We need this room's letter, and we need this room's letter. So aside from checking the bunk room, I don't know what else we can go on. Also, he said the gate was unlocked. So maybe now that we've seen that cutscene, now the gate's unlocked? We have to check, obviously. Okay. All right, thanks. Thanks, bud. That was very exciting. Okay. I love that mechanic of the like the fortune teller. It's so cool. All right, let's go across. Hopefully this doesn't dead end us. Come on. Don't do it to me, game. Oh yeah, lockpick. Ah, we did it. Coat check. The kitchen, the breaker box. I'm not crazy about any of these options. The kitchen will get us a turn. It won't dead end us. We'll take the kitchen. Is the kitchen flooded? The kitchen's not even flooded. You guys made such a big deal over flooding the kitchen. Oh, hello. Little coin. Look at this. Water to the kitchen. You guys were like, oh no. There's going to be water in the kitchen. Oh no. Let's see. Does that mean we have dinner now? No, we don't have dinner now. Okay. We're going to go this way. The door to darkness. Yeah, we did see a door to darkness. That is true. Okay, the first room, the third room. Okay. Let's, come on. Give me something good. The walk-in closet. It's not really giving me something good, is it, game? This, okay, we're taking the library because then it will lead us to the next room we need a letter for. So at least we'll get one letter, at least. Okay. And then we can also check out, we can like check out the book that we bought last time, like totally on accident. Please select one. Drafting volume 3. Okay, so these were the first books that we had. And then The Curse of Black Bridge was the new one, right? And it was like an expensive book. Okay. That's what we want. We want The Curse of Black Bridge. And we want it now. Should we go up here and see if there's like a... I think over here we can check the classrooms in this book, because this book is like... Yeah, my first claim ticket. My favorite floor plan is the workshop. Yeah, I know. Contraptions I've made. Oh, burning glass, magnifying metal detector. There it is. And the power hammer is the sledgehammer, the battery, and the lever. So we've never made a detector shovel, turns out. But I still think we want to make the jackhammer, which I think is the sledgehammer, the battery pack, and the shovel, not the lever. Okay, it's good. It's nice to know that these things are here. Largest purchase, The Curse of Black Bridge for 40 gold, paid in full. You damn straight it was paid in full. Maybe one day we'll draft the tunnel. Maybe not. Tunnel vault locksmith. Yeah, highest grade we've gotten to on the school classroom is 3. Okay. Okay, that was actually nice. It was nice to see. You got to take a picture of it. Oh, it's a pretty good idea, actually. That is a good idea. We will take a picture of it. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we have the so on the way out, if we end up dead ending, we'll go make the detector shovel anyway, just to like get it on our list of things we've made, right? Okay. Chamber of Mirrors, that's new. The bookshop. The bookshop will dead end us, but then we could buy books. 15. I wonder if we can get 2 books. If we can get 2 books out of the bookshop. And the bookshop will give us the letter. Secret Passage will give us the letter. You can now draft second copies of rooms you already have in the house. Chamber of Mirrors. But it's a dead end? We've never seen the Chamber of Mirrors before. The mirror room sounds cool. Yeah, it does sound cool. It also might, like, it kind of screws us because it dead ends us without, it gives us a new room, but it doesn't give us, like, I don't know what else it does. It's a gamble, right? It looks like there's art on the walls, so maybe we should be able to get the letter. So do we want the letter of this room in a new room and then we're dead-ended? Do we want the letter of the room and we can buy some more books? We do have 15 coins. Not bad. Or the secret passage, we'll get the letter and then we can continue. You know what I mean? No, the bookshop also, yes, the bookshop also dead ends in this configuration, but we will be able to buy books. So those books are, do you have enough coins for anything? I think I have, I am certain I have enough coins for one book. At least one book, yes. 15 coins, I should be able to buy one book. I don't remember the prices though. Like exactly. But what if you don't? Mm-hmm. 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 There were some cheap books. That's what I remember. I remember some books were cheap, and we spent like 40 coins on one book instead of buying like 3 books. I spent 40 because I couldn't afford the book that cost 50. I still can't afford that book, but I can afford the cheaper books, which are the drafting books. And the drafting books are the ones that I think might give us the clues about how to draft specific rooms that we can't draft, like the master bedroom. I'm hoping that the drafting books have those clues in them because I don't know where else to find those clues, where else they would be besides in a drafting book. You know what I mean? We could also redraft. Like we could redraw these options is our other option. Were they cheap or did you have the 50% off sale? I have no idea, Tennille. I did have the sale a couple of times. I might still have the sale. I have no idea. I don't know how many stars are in the sky. You know what I mean? Did you get the coins from the fountain? Are they always there? Like if I go back to the drained fountain, will there constantly be more coins? They were in the pool. Oh, that's a really good point. It's what I want to do. It's what I want to do. We're dead ending. Okay, first things first. 8, 8, and 20. Okay, we got the Curse of Black Bridge. These books are 50. A New Clue is very on the nose. But I want these drafting books is what I want. So hold on a second. Let me look at this. What the hell? So that's usually a plane, but it could be considered something else. Oh, a planet. A plane, Planet, planet. So this room is a T. Yeah? Does that sound right? Okay, so that makes this row, it says gates. Okay. Makes sense to me. Yeah, makes sense to me too. All right. We have 51 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We got plenty of steps. Let me just check also. We got plenty of steps. Okay. I'm going back. We have the metal detector now. Hopefully we'll detect coins also on our way back through the house. Flober Meows, thanks so much for the resub. 6 months. 6 months, Flober. Okay. Okay. We're going through. We have the detector to detect. We could detect things. Oh shit, the gym. Okay, we should be okay. Oh, I hate the gym. I didn't count the gym on the steps. It takes an extra 2, which would be an extra 4 total, which is a lot. Okay, we have 36 steps. You know, this kind of looks like the item not taken shelf kind of looked like this, didn't it? All right. What are the odds? And if there are coins, no. Damn. That sucks. The coins are not repeated. Ooh, that burns, doesn't it? Doesn't it, chat? It burns. All right, so if I go in here for the item not taken, there ain't shit in here. All right, there's nothing interactable in this room. So that's 2 strikes. It seems to me like the item not taken was from here. It had the birds on the shelf, right? It looked like this bird. And this was knocked over, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. So maybe because he said, because remember, Alzara or whatever is looking into our future. So maybe on our next run, then we could take this thing for some reason or something like that. Like maybe we can't do it now because he just read our future and we have to do it in the future. Maybe now that we've gotten that 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we still have over 10 steps left. Let's go check the gate, too. 3 strikes, you're out, though, right, chat? We'll just check. So this gate is open. But this gate's always been open. The only other gate that could potentially be open is this one? Maybe that would be our 4th permanent thing. And again, maybe we check tomorrow. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going back in. What a shame. Okay, so now we're in the workshop, right? And then if we take the shovel and like the metal detector and we make a detector shovel, now we have a detector shovel that we've made. And we can detect shovel spots. Greater chance of finding coins and keys. Much greater chance of finding coins and keys while digging. Cool. Okay, we still don't have dinner. No din-din for us. It's very sad. Ten steps. We're back in the bookstore with 9 steps to spare. All right. Drafting Strategy Volume 4 and 5. We have Volume 3, so let's get Volume 4, right? We're 1 coin short for the other one. Doesn't that suck? It's so annoying. 1 coin short. All right. Well, what are the odds that we find a coin somewhere? Okay, this is a bishop room, by the way. Like the chapel is, which is interesting. All right, that's that. We call it a day. It's an ordinary villa. Great. Continue. There was a cool spoon for sale. Yeah, it's true. The luxury shop had some weird items in it. Okay, so now we know that there are no coins in the front fountain. Good idea, though, because the pool coins did respawn. I guess that's the benefit of the pool in the first place. Okay, now we're in the future. We're in the future. And we can't take the bird thing at all. Oh my God, do I have to bust out my phone whenever we talk to Alzada and like record? I have to record everything he says. All right, we got 70 steps. All right. Well, the bird thing we couldn't take, even though we're in the future now. So what are the odds that the gates open because we're in the future? Probably 0, right? This, we still don't know how to get in there either. Noted. Ugh. All right. What shall we do next? Well, it's back to the exterior room, right, to start our next run. We'll see what options we get, and we'll go from there. We did get a letter for our letter puzzle, so progress was made. It was a bit of progress. We also crafted the shovel detector thing. Special floor plans cost footsteps instead of gems. Sounds awful. The trading post has items for trade. It's also where we get the dynamite. And then this will give us more dig spots. But we won't necessarily have a shovel. We won't necessarily have a shovel. Do you go back and forth in time? No. Every day in this game, we start each day, and the house is like a blank slate. And then as we enter rooms, we have to draft different rooms. So the house changes every single day we walk through it. And we try to use that to our advantage to put together a lot of these puzzles that the story is telling us. So messages from our family, secrets in the house, the way different rooms are connected, all this kind of stuff. And our goal is to unlock the back room of the house. There's a room in the back, room 46, and we want to get to it, and we have not. Okay, is there any items in here besides all these diggable spots? What was this again? Search continues. Another author and illustrator whose fanciful story is named Marion Marigold was last seen by blank Friday getting into a carriage after a late blank. No sign has been found yet. XYZ ABC, it says here on the bottom. I don't need a magnifying glass to see that. And that definitely doesn't mean nothing. XYZ ABC. Cool. Okay. XYZ ABC. I probably have a picture of that note already. I would bet. I sure do. Okay. Well, we got a root cellar, so if we find a shovel, we'll try to remember to come back to it. But we didn't get any shovel item in there, so. This is a game about walking through a house from the front door to the back door. How hard can that be? Well, observe. All right. Let's take the hallway. We'll start strong with a hallway. And we will then get... Ooh. We'll take the walk-in closet early, which is quite the early push. And we're going to get a cupcake, which is going to give us 10 steps. Wow. We're going to get 2 dice, which will give us rerolls. And we're going to get 2 gems as well, which is a huge... and here's Lady E, I think. The good lady of the house. Okay, I don't think there's any more items in here, but hey, the walk-in closet came through. The observatory will take a gem. We have 3 of them. Or we can take the nook. I'll take the observatory early. I don't think we had a sale, and I'll look through the sky here, and we'll put together. Apples are extra delicious. We get an extra key, and we get plus 5 diamonds. That's nice. Okay. Let's open up this door. And we'll take the storeroom. The storeroom will give us some coin, 2 keys, and a gem, and nothing else. Sometimes there is an extra item in here, but not today. Not often, actually, but it does happen occasionally. All right. We will take the den. The den is a great early room as well. Gives us 2 directions to walk in. And in the corner of the house, we'll take... We'll take the bedroom. What'd I miss? Ebba with the resub, 2 months. Thanks very much, Ebba. Oh, the allowance. That's a good point. Give me that. I forgot all about my allowance. Crazy. What a spoiled brat. Have an allowance, and I didn't even care. We'll just take the spare green room. We'll push up through here. Maybe we'll get lucky with an item. Ooh. It's a gem. It's better than nothing, right? A dig spot. Okay. Take note. The maid's chamber. The closet is a dead end. Or we can take the pantry. Less likely to find items laying around the house. No thanks. We'll take the pantry for some coins. We'll eat this orange for 5 steps. Let's see, the courtyard. Okay, the closet's a dead end. The corridor goes straight across. We got 10 gems. We could take the courtyard. This might give us a shovel, actually. It does. Oh, big win on the shovel. We got so many dig spots. Okay, that's good. We can make a lot of use of that. Let's dig here. We got a coin. Let's dig here. We got an old can. Let's dig here. We got pebbles. All right, it's all junk. We'll dig here. Another coin. Excellent. We already have enough for the other drafting book. Okay, and there was a we're in ads. Well, don't worry, we'll wait right here. Sweet, we got pebbles. I know.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Winnie Wolf in the house. What's up, Winnie? Try taking screen captures when you see Alzara or any other important clues. It's okay to keep an actual notebook too. Yeah, I have notes on my phone. I've been Solar. I've been keeping notes on my phone. That's how I'm doing it. I'm not. I don't have like a little notebook and a pen, like around. You know. I don't remember. I was in school the last time I carried a pen. So I just have. I just use my phone to take notes. I have a huge like note file on my phone of pictures and stuff. He finally listened and started writing stuff down. No. I have a note on my phone. I have had a note on my phone the whole time. And that is all. That is all. I will not be writing anything down, okay? No. All right? NPC in the house. What's up, NPC? That counts. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Popping in live to say hi. Hello. Been enjoying your stream so much. Thanks for your work in Kingdom Hearts, a huge part of my teenage years. Well, thank you very much, Silly Whims. I appreciate you jumping into stream and saying what's up. Welcome. You can come in and hang out at any time. How goes Blueprints? NPC, it's going. We had a couple of fails on the last run, but you know, you can't win them all. You know what I mean? It's little progress is made, you know, kicking and screaming. You know what I mean? You got to drag some progress out of your run sometimes. It's okay. Trial and error, yeah, exactly. All right. So, we could push to the... We're always pushing to the back of the house to try to get the remaining letters. That's always like... that's an easy win on the docket if we can get to the back of the build. What's up, Soul? What did I miss? We also want to... God, we have a ton. Maybe we can dig up some extra keys and stuff to get all the way back out, though. If we dead end ourselves and we have to go back to the entrance hall, we'll go back to the root cellar and dig up all that stuff. If you shared your notes to your desktop, we could see what you're looking at. Oh, God. Yeah, that is true, Soul. That is true. It sounds like a pain in the ass, honestly. I don't like my phone and my computer talking to each other because then it annoys me, and has in the past. I've actually turned that off intentionally because it annoys me. I don't want my phone dinging my computer and back and forth. We must trust the process. Yeah. I mean, feel free to take notes, chat. I encourage chat to take notes as well. If you have a nice cozy notebook that you love to just write notes in, you can do that. That is available to you. I'm doing my best, all right, to sleuth this stuff out and talk you guys through what I'm thinking. And we're back. Okay. I refuse. Well, Flo, you know, it's I know how you feel. All right. Let's unlock this door. Yeah. This door first. Just to get it like... Okay, this is a good spot for the hallway closet, actually. We'll get 2 items. I don't even care if we don't get, like, another item, right? This is a little backtrack room. Yeah, we'll take the gem and the dice. That's great. All right, the corridor, the gym, Ooh, the passageway. This is a strong passageway. Okay, we'll take the strong passage. This is a strong position for the passageway. And then, going back to the entrance hall, what can we put? Obviously, the security room is the best move here because it brings us back to the entrance. It also gives us the security room. There it is. Okay, well, do I want to... Well, now we're kind of locked into this. Okay, so I am going to go back through here. Just enough, right? To go to the computer. Okay, so we'll press enter. Estate inventory, the key card system, the login to the network. We'll log into the network maybe. Terminal password. Okay, let's use the password that the other password that the that Denny had or whatever. All right, the admin key was capital R. EVA capital D. Incorrect password. Okay. What was the other? The other password was Swan Song. Hold on a sec. I can log into the network. We could put in Swan Song and connect to the network, and maybe there's an admin password in here somewhere. I don't remember what this does. We haven't done it in a while. Staff services, remote terminal access, electronic mail, data transfer, glossary. So like staff services. Punch in and out, announcements, request schedule, change, special orders. Punch in and out, temporary disabled. Staff announcements. Request a schedule change, disabled. Special orders. If you would like to get a specific brand of gum or your favorite fruit, the commissary is now taking special orders for all members of the staff. 1 to 3 days. Place a special order. Compass, magnifying glass, metal detector, running shoes, shovel, sleeping mask, sledgehammer. The magnifying glass metal detector combo is what we want. How long did it say it was going to take? Special orders. 1 to 3 days. Neither the magnifying glass nor the metal detector are like particularly common. We'll put the magnifying glass. This order test takes 1 to 2 days. Yeah, okay. Order accepted. All right, so we'll have the magnifying glass in the commissary. Electronic mail, remote terminal, staff services. Return, okay. Remote terminal access. Office, laboratory, and shelter are not available. Electronic mail. Only acceptable in the office. Sukimon with the resub. 3 months, Sukimon. Thanks very much for the resub. Data transfers from Cinca are not currently available. Okay. All right. All right. There's no electronic code access or whatever for that. Not at the moment. corridor, the weight room, which sucks, and then the locksmith with keys for sale. We got 3 keys. We have a ton of gems. We'll take the corridor. Okay. Was there any? No. All right. The kitchen. Ooh, the patio. We'll take the West Wing Hall. That gives us a dig spot, which we will dig. Maybe we'll get more coins. There it is. We got another coin. I'll take it. There's the garage, which will give us more keys. Ooh, the veranda. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th room up, the room that's going to be past, is a room we need. Okay, so we're going to take the veranda because we want to go up to the next room. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. I put 100 hours in myself. It's the gift that keeps giving. Michelle, I'm loving this game. This game's awesome. It's a very addicting loop. I often play it for much longer than I plan to. But I like it a lot. Pebbles, great. I love pebbles. Okay, what else? Coins? Pebbles. More pebbles. Excellent. How about this? Oof. It's a gamble. We'll gamble. Is it going to give me the key back? It gave me the key back. We also get a gem and some coins. Beautiful gamble taken. Okay. Now this room, we can take the parlor and continue walking. We could take a chapel, which gives us 2 paths, which actually is kind of interesting. Did the chapel have any artwork? I don't think the chapel has artwork because the chapel has all the stained glass windows and stuff. I don't think we get any artwork in the chapel. The parlor will give us artwork. The garage will also give us artwork and keys. But then we lock ourselves to 1 path. The chapel has the cool angel ladies. That's true. I'm a software engineer. I have to keep notes and pens at all times. Easier to retain important skills and lessons about code bases. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are definitely occupations and lifestyles that require like pen and paper. But I don't have one of those typically. You know what I mean? Not that I never need a pen, because sometimes you do, but most of the time I don't need to bother. So I don't often have one. The chapel's the best option for moving on because it gives us 2 doors. But I don't think the chapel has the artwork, and we need the artwork from this room, so it kind of takes it off the table. We either dead end at the garage, get 3 extra keys, and then we go work the passageway and try to go up the middle and see if we can kind of branch out into the rest of the build from there. Or we take the parlor, which also gives us, it gives us some gems, will give us the artwork and another passage. So it's kind of like, it's like not bad. You know what I mean? Maybe we can find the garage later. Sadly, I think the garage can only spawn in one of these 3 rooms right here. But getting the keys is nice. We also have 3 keys and 3 rerolls. So we're not like in desperate need of keys. And actually saying that out loud, I think we're going with the parlor. I think it's best to just take the artwork, win. Okay, here we go. A tub and a tube. right? It's a tub and a tube, which makes this room an E. So we have... So the first three words, we're not quite... we don't quite know. But the fourth word down, so if we're looking at this, like we don't have this word at all, or these two words perhaps, or whatever this is. We're missing two letters here. And then we're missing this one letter here, which if it's a T, this would say stall. S blank A-L-L, okay? So this is probably a T that says stall. After that, it says gates. It says 8. It says dates. And it says crack 8 safes. It could be an M, and it could be small. It could be small gates. I don't know. It's small or stall or maybe it's a V and it says Zval. I don't know. Okay, let's grab this. They're asking us to spell now? I know, it's very rude. The white box does not have a statement. True. The gems are in a box with a statement. Well, this box is true. See? Just plainly true. This box can't be true or false, which means, because one must be true and one must be false, that this box must be false. The gems are in a box with a statement must be false because the gems are in a box with no statement. Ta-da! Logic. All right. The foundation does not reset each day. What? That sounds dangerous. We've seen that before. We've just never picked it. Does not reset each day. How long does it stay there? All right, we're going to find out, right? I don't even know if this is a good idea to put it in the spot like randomly, you know? Oh my goodness. My goodness gracious. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to dig. And we found... Ooh. You dug up a torn and discarded scrap of paper. Better write this down. Workshop idea, lockpick and metal detector? Question mark? Okay. Better write this down, chat. Okay, okay. New note. Okay. Very fascinating. We had a lockpick. We had the lockpick too. We could have maybe done that. I don't think we checked, like, to craft with the lockpicks. Ooh, coins. Oh yeah, we got 18 coins. That's a lot. That's like a mad decent amount. my goodness. All right. We can't reach. There's a lever there. All right. All right, that door's locked. Maybe we'll chill on Can I like What is this? Is it just all It's all scribbled upon? Okay, it's not going to let me like jump down to my death. All right. Let's see about going this way. Okay, both doors are locked. So, both doors are locked. We'll use this key. A drafting studio. That's new, too. Select a new floor plan to permanently add to your estate's draft pool. That sounds great. Hello. Look at this. So much new stuff. What's this? The Great Hall partitioning plan for Monday, November 30th. The Great Hall. Drafting strategy, Volume 1? Ooh, Volume 1? We've not seen Volume 1 before. Okay. What do we have here? Potential new floor plans. The clock tower. Okay, let's check these out. In the drafting studio, you will be able to choose a brand new floor plan to permanently add to your draft pool. Permanent changes do not reset each day. Potential new floor plans. The solarium. You are more likely to draw unusual and rare rooms while drafting. Okay. The clock tower. Tomorrow, you will start with one key for each clock time room you draft today. And the dovecote. Whenever you draw dovecote while drafting, you may rotate floor plans. Damn. The solarium is good because it'll give us more unusual draws, which is really good. Like it'll just give us more unusual draws if we put it down. spinning floor plans is something I've been asking for. Oof, it's tough. This one, no. This is like the last one we're going to get. We're going to get one of these first, and then we're going to get one of these second. These are the two good ones. Man. You may rotate floor plans. Oh. I want the solarium first because I want to be able to draw more unusual rooms. Because a lot of times we're looking for rooms that are harder to draw. We got to go doves and get the birds. A vote for the solarium is a vote for soul. Only while drafting. If we put this room in the house, then we will draft more unusual plans. If we put this room, whenever you draw, so whenever we... It says draw and not draft. Whenever the dove coat is in our options, we can rotate the floor plans, which is kind of like more very hyper specific. I'm going to go for the solarium first. A quaint floral sitting room surrounded entirely by tinted glass panes. This room is ideal for tea in the afternoons. Oh, it sounds nice. Or getting some sun without the hassle of going outside. Add this floor plan to your draft pool. Drafting cost 1 gem. Preview the plan. Next plan. Oh, previous and next. Yes, I want the solarium. Permanently, you've successfully added the solarium. Excellent. All right. Here's the calendar. Saturday, November 7th was day 1. Oh, that's really strong information as well. That's very important to remember. I know we worked it out already once, but I definitely forgot, like which day was technically the first day. It's nice to have the calendar picture. Save. Okay, good. All right, day 1. We definitely know what our day 1 is. The tiger and the tear. Yeah, is the G. We already know this is a G room. Okay, so let's look through the drafting. Drafting volume 1. The drafting spectrum. Blueprints are more than just blue. It should come as no surprise that the first color that comes to mind when speaking about blueprints is blue. And while it is true that most architectural plans and designs are found on blue paper, it's not the only color on which floor plans are drafted. In fact, originally they were not blue at all. Hundreds of years ago, the chemicals used to create floor plans caused coated paper to turn black when exposed to the light. This raven hue, perhaps more fitting to the reigns of Horus, was decidedly more difficult to affix an architect's revision edits to, and so blue was proposed as an ideal replacement as it had no political ties to any other realms. By the 4th era, all floor plans were being printed on blue paper. Over the years, the fear of political connotation deferred to innovation, and the use of colored prints eventually became popular with engineers and architects who use hues as a way to differentiate various types of buildings and rooms. Violet prints, for example, are only used when creating plans for a bedroom, while an orange floor plan will immediately inform a contractor that the print contains designs for a hallway. In this issue of Drafting Strategy, we will explore the different features of each type of floor plan and look at the underlying connections that tie each room to its color. Most violet dreams Architectural Digest Guide to Bedrooms. The bedroom is often referred to as the heart of the home, and with good reason. It is the place where people can rest during a long day, where they can kick up their feet for a bit and recharge their batteries. Architects always use violet bordered floor plans for bedrooms, and the comforting purple hues encountered while drafting will usually let a weary traveler know they found a room in which they can rest up. Architects may wish to utilize bedroom strategies if they are the type to love to explore and backtrack frequently. Having an excess of steps usually affords bedroom enthusiasts the mobility to be more carefree with their plans for the day. Bedrooms are violet. Associated resource is the steps. Average number of doors is 1 to 2. Extra items are likely. Synergies: the sleeping mask, the nursery, and the servants' quarters. Okay. So we knew this, right? That items were likely and that it's associated with steps. We did know this. Was there anything in the picture that's interesting? No. Hey, kid. Indoor verdure. Architect's Digest Guide to Green Rooms. Green rooms are a wonderful way to bring the outdoors inside and provide a breath of fresh air for the home. The abundance of plant life, rich soil, and natural resources in these spaces make them extremely appealing for architects who enjoy gardening and open spaces. These floor plans are extremely synergistic, and strategies centered around green will often involve drafting as many of this color as possible. The more green rooms you're able to draft in your house, the more powerful their effects will become. Additionally, these spaces are more likely than other types of rooms to contain piles of dirt for digging. Green rooms, color green, associated with gems. You closing my door? Thank you. Average number of doors are 2 to 3. Their extra items are often. So often is probably less than likely. Or maybe often is more than likely, actually. Synergies. Most green rooms, the shovel and the watering can. So there's some synergistic items. Soundtrack gone. You guys listening to Pele scream in the other room? Orange Passage, Architectural Digest Guide to Hallways. If the bedroom is the heart of the home, then the hallways are the arteries, serving as diverging paths that branch out to connect different paths of the house and lead visitors to their intended destinations. While these orange corridors are often overlooked as one travels through them, they are a vital component of any house. The numerous doors found in each hall provide the means to add more rooms to your house. And the more hallways you have, the less likely you are to draft yourself into a dead end. Hallway strategies are ideal for the architect who prefers more rooms and flexible options for expansion over pure resources. Hallways are orange. They're associated with keys. The average number of doors is 3 to 4. Rarely do you find items, and there are synergies with the foyer. There are synergies with the foyer? The lockpick kit and the hall pass.
Cheese and crackers?
Sure.
It's like the smoked Gouda, the cheddar, and some crackers.
Thanks. I got some cheese and crackers. That's nice. The foyer, huh? Oh, it says here, foyer. Hallway doors are always unlocked. We don't have the foyer. That's like the one hallway we don't have, isn't it? Huh. Is the foyer room 1? Well, we're missing a hallway. And it's orange, so it wouldn't be room 1. It would be a hallway. It would be in the hallway list. I'll show you what I mean when we read through the rest of this. Golden trim. The Architectural Digest Guide to Shops. Shops are an essential part of any large estate, providing a convenient place for the staff and residents to purchase items without having to leave the property, including at least One of these floor plans in your house will provide you with an outlet for any coins that are found during the day. Strategies that involve generating lots of gold. We usually want to draft multiple shop rooms to expand the range of shopping opportunities. These floor plans are bordered with shades of gold, enhancing the sense of luxury and refinement in the shopping experience. Whether it's a quick snack or a high-end fashion item, having a well-placed shop within the estate can greatly enhance the quality of life for the entire household. Shops color gold, associated with coins. Average number of doors 2. Extra items, never for free. Okay, so we'll never find extra items sitting in a shop for free. That's interesting. It's synergistic with the coin purse, the coupon book, which I don't think we've ever seen, and the vault. Interesting. Negative space. Architectural Digest Guide to Red Rooms. Red rooms are a daring addition to any home, providing a small element of danger that can excite and thrill both residents and visitors. While these rooms come with a certain level of risk, they offer the potential for substantial returns, as they provide as many doors as they do opportunities. Not really, though. The furnace is a dead end. The lavatory is a dead end. Also, I don't know what's exciting and thrilling about a bathroom, but okay. Architects who are willing to take the plunge and draft a red room are often rewarded with a unique and striking space that leaves a lasting impression on those who enter. Okay. Just like in life, taking risks can be intimidating, but those who dare to venture outside their comfort zone can reap the greatest rewards. Interesting. This picture here, it has names on it. We don't have a magnifying glass, but this says Lydia on this side. This one's Lydia. And this one says like Daja or like D something JA. Red rooms, color red, associated with vexation. Average number of doors 3 to 4. Seldom with extra items. Synergistic with the shelter. Tomato soup. And skilled players. Okay. Prismatic rooms. Architectural Digest Guide to Multicolored Floor Plans. You may on rare occasions notice some floor plans that have more than one color in their design. These rooms are unique in that they simultaneously share all of the characteristics of each type of room associated with those colors. For example, a floor plan with a violet and gold border would be best described as a bedroom shop, while an orange and green one might contain a corridor of greenery and plants. The aquarium is a very useful multicolored floor plan as it supports all of the color-based strategies listed in this volume. For example, it can give you bonus steps for having a nursery, as well as being unlocked for having a foyer. Word from the editor. As we reach the end of this volume of drafting strategy, we hope you found valuable insights and colorful inspiration for your next architectural project. From the purples of our dreams to the reds of our fears, we believe that no ambition for an architect is too brave and no design is too colorful. To achieve our goals, we must delve deep into the spectrum, drawing upon all colors and ideas of daring merit. At the end of the day, color is just another tool. Some wield it to express their own creativity. Some hoist it up as a display of their own power. Some use it to calculate great sums. But all of us want to find a color we can call our own. All right, there's this interesting name. The names are here. This definitely says Lydia. I could see it from here. This one says... Daja or I don't know. All right. Is there anything else in any of these pictures that sticks out? No. Okay. I wonder if I can like yeah, I can get a close enough picture of it. All right. All right. Where are we? Let's keep moving. Door's locked. Dead end. Turns the wrong way. Dead end. We'll redraw. The chapel. Planetarium, secret passage. Redraw again. Come on. The office. Ooh, the gym. We lose 2 steps. We got a ton of steps, though. But at least it turns us in the right direction. The kitchen. The office. The office will spread money, but it turns us to the wrong way. Which kind of sucks. Kitchen dinner. We have a ton of steps, so we don't need dinner necessarily at the moment. It's there. You'll eventually want to get all 3. No, yeah, solar. I know that. I know that message was from when we drafted the room. Yeah, we're gonna get all 3. I know that for sure. We have 28 coins. The office will give us a lot of opportunity for more coins, but then it turns us into it turns us the wrong way. We're taking the gym. We don't want to. Oh no. That sucks. We don't have the damn. Ugh. Was this also locked? Ugh. Makes me mad. Makes me angry. So angry. Okay. We'll push back because remember we have the shovel. Okay. Laboratory turns us the wrong way. The drawing room turns us the wrong way. The coat check. Let me draw new floor plans while drafting in this room. I guess we'll take this. We'll take the drawing room, although it is a bit annoying. And then we'll take the billiard room, the kitchen. We could redraw. They all turn the way we want. We'll take the billiard room. And this just saves us some steps going back and forth, right? Is that going to open? Yes, good. Okay, that opens up that door. Let's do this. We'll do 1. 13 plus 8, and then minus 8. Okay. 18 minus, is this minus 10 and 7, so that's like 1, and then times 2 is 2, and then times 10 is 20. Okay. 11 and 5 is 16. Times 2, which is 32. And then is this divided by? Is it 8? There we go. Oh, the key card. That's actually a decent pull for us at the moment. All right. All right, the chapel, the nook, the kitchen. 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. Let me just keep track of like which room we're trying to target for a letter. We're still trying to go up and over 2 from where we are here. I'll take the nook. I'll take the nook for free, right? And I'll take the key. And then we get to push the dining room. Gives us some options. The office could give us a lot of coins, which this would be a great run if we manage to pull the bookstore. Okay, this gives us 2 options though. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 in the middle. 6 from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to go up and over from here. I'll take the dining room because we're good on pulling the bookstore either way right now. The chapel, the guest bedroom's a dead end. The laboratory gets us into the room we want. Okay, so let's take the laboratory. We have 5 gems. All right, we'll force a little progress. We do have the we have a reroll if we don't get a room that's going to give us like the artwork that we need. Is there any like is there a battery sitting in here? Because that would be cool. That would be pretty sweet. If like I could get a battery. No. No. What does it say? Okay, we'll enter research logs, pause experiment, log into network. All right, experiment. In the laboratory, you are free to experiment by testing, combining different mechanics to create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. Continue with the experiment, sure. A cause and effect. When you draft a hallway from another hallway, gain 3 gold, spread dirt on the driveway, gain 1 key, 1 gem, or 1 die. Each time you eat an apple, whenever you draft an archived floor plan. Archived? What does that mean? Cancel. Log into network. Swan song. Glossary of terms. Archived floor plan. Oh. Floor plans hidden from view after driving the archives. Of course. Okay. We'll log out. We'll log back in or something. We'll do the experiment. Continue. None of these are like particularly helpful, are they? Each time you eat an apple. Okay. What are the odds we pull an apple in one of these rooms, you know? A hallway from a hallway. We'll do the archive, and then we'll gain an item for the archive. We'll start the experiment. Okay, so if we end up drafting an archive, there'll be a benefit to it, I guess. And that's cool. Okay. So now the next room here, we need a letter from it. Oof. All right, we're using our key because this is going to give us progress either way. A tunnel will give us no artwork. The boiler room. The weight room sucks. We're going to redraw. Planetarium has no artwork. The weight room, we lose half of our steps. The kitchen has artwork. I'm pretty certain. All right, we're taking the kitchen. They want you to lift weights so bad. They are a pain in the butt, is what they are. We got a rolling pin. All right. We could turn on the water and be the wet bandits. All right, clock and tie. Tie and time, right? So that makes this an M, which makes the room, or the word small. So something something, small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. Okay. So from this room and this room, we need letters from. So let's see if we can get up there. Okay, the patio doesn't give it to us. The dark room does. The dark room gives it to us. We'll go for it. Okay, our last key. We're completely blind. Cheers, chat. The experiments might be more useful and later in the playthrough. Yeah, that's true. They could get more useful. It's not that they're not useful. They're just useful in very particular. They're very situation specific, which is fine, you know. And I'm pretty sure your experiment options are also randomized and changed. What are the odds that we get a room with artwork and a path forward? What type of cheese? A smoked Gouda cheese and a cheddar. %. 1 in 3. Yep. That. I like to think one of them is the right one, you know? Call me optimistic. Boss with the 3 stream. Thanks very much for starting over on that streak. Okay. 1, 2, or do we throw down for 3? We do have 3 gems. We are near the end of the run. What are you eating? Cheese and crackers. I have some cheese and some crackers. Gem. All I see is darkness. All right, we're going to pay it forward, right? Let's go for the big money. Scared money don't make money. Ooh, the pool. Oh my God, we got 2 doors. And artwork. All right, we got a chart. And we got a box. We got a crate. Crate and create. Crate. A crit rate. We got let's see. Oh, we're in ads.
Hey, chicken wuss.
Blade Kit Kat's in the house. What up, Blade? Hmm. It's a box or a crate. I don't know what else it could be called, the other thing. Pele's popping off. Pele is a happy bird. This is a box or a crate? You haven't posted Baby Pele in the Discord. Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Excuse me while I go back 13 years in my phone. Hold on. Let's see. It was our Hawaiian trip. There she is. September of 2012. And I have video too. She's so damn cute. It's ridiculous. I think these are the first pictures we have of Pele. Where do you want me to put him? In the mounts? Makes sense, right? There you go, chat. Pictures of Pele from 2012 when she was just a little fluffy neck, little hatchling. $1990 was 10 years ago. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, Pele's like 13 now or something. All right. I have to figure out this stupid picture, this artwork. Crate and create came to mind, and I can't seem to shake it, but it doesn't seem quite right. This could be like it's not like storage. I don't know what I would add to box to make another word. Business meetings put me to sleep, yeah. Yeah, the little the logo on the box is the manor logo. Like this is on the house. It's on the gates and stuff. Chart graph profits. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know how these puzzles work, in each room, there's two pictures. So we have this graph and we have this box, right? Now, we have to figure out what each picture represents in a word. And those two words are going to be one letter off from each other. So like in one room, the first one we figured out was there was a picture of sand dunes and then there was a picture of a flan. And it was the desert and dessert. And so then there's the extra S, and so that room represents the S, right? Making me hungry with cheese and crackers. Sorry about that. I do need a snack, though. I haven't eaten since breakfast. So if it's a box, then this word would have to have BOX and another letter in it somewhere, like blocks or like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's not how you spell blocks, but you know what I mean? So crate and create are like it's like the only thing that kind of makes sense with crate. I need to look at the word. This art puzzle is mean. This one's the worst. Blocks is now blocks. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Graven, I know how the puzzle works. Yeah, no, sure. But there's lots of people in here who might not. So I'm just explaining it so that people who are like watching but don't necessarily haven't played the game or whatever may not, right? These are usually so simple too. Damn it. It's one of the weirder art pulls, yeah. Stocks with an X, yeah. The chart word seems like there's more options. Yeah, I know. It could be chart, it could be graph, it could be it could just be about how the arrow's going up, right? All right, what else do we got to do here really quick? Let me see. I can... Okay, either one of these doors is going to lead us to another room that we need art for. So let's work on that. Oh, that's locked, and I have no key. All right, is it going to do it? No. The sauna's a dead end. The guest bedroom's a dead end. The chapel gets us across. I say we take the chapel. And now we know that the pitchfork farmer has that name. And the riding crop holder also has a name. That we that from the picture. And now we could probably figure out from our list of anyway. Locked. Oh. We need the art on the other side of that door as well. Ooh, can we dig? Oh my god, do we get a key? Coins. All right, well, the room gave us our coins back. That's something. Ooh, key? Coin. Okay. Wouldn't that have been a great something if we had just pulled, like, a key right out of the chapel? Oh, man, that would have been good. That would have been something. All right, if I look at the list of names... If I go down to the last pictures that I took here... It was Lydia. Which we don't have on our list of people anywhere. So, all right, we'll leave that for another time. This is the thing that's gonna break me right now. Drafting pool rules. All right, how many footsteps do I have? 28. 28 footsteps. Oh, was this dining door locked? It probably was, wasn't it? I don't remember. They're just one letter off and not shuffled. Yeah, correct. It's just the two images. What's up, Grow? This one is so tricky. Yeah, it is. It feels tricky. I feel like I'm going to have to, like, brainstorm and write down a bunch of different words that could be the box or the crate. Box, crate, graph, chart are, like, the main words for the two pictures. Like, what, storage? Like, what else could the box be? It's a bar graph. Yeah. Yep, it is. And again, it could be like, it could have something to do with the fact that the chart is like growing. It could be growth or like, you know, something like that. But, like, if it's one letter off of box, I should just be able to figure out what that word is. You know what I mean? And it's nothing. So this can't be box. And the only other thing I could think of is crate. C-R-A-T-E, which would make sense. And then this would be create, right? To create, I don't know, like fucking what? You know what I mean? Like, that is a stretch. But it's the only one. Box and Xbox. Yeah, it's an Xbox. Exactly, yeah. Astro Page, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome. It was an Xbox all along. It's Xbox sales. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. What a pain in the ass. All right. Well, I don't have anything else I could be doing. All these doors are locked. Is there anywhere I can try to go push through the dining room? My brain is not going to oh. I have this. Well, I'll take a freebie. We'll take the middle one. Oh! That's good. We got the book. Oh! Oh, it's locked. We don't have a sledgehammer on us at the moment. All right, I don't think there's any I don't think there's anything else to have in here besides the crate. We don't have the key to spare anyway. The Curse of Blackbridge. Okay, this is progress. This book was graciously gifted by Simon P. Jones. Nice. And I'm the first one to borrow it because we only just added it to the library. And it's November 30th. I think that's how we figured out the date through the library card the first time we did. The Curse of Blackbridge by Redford Ewing. Okay. Good luck puzzling. Thanks, Ixel. The foreword. The legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. For versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and, as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend. And while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Nice. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. And for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of alleyways to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road, paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, the notorious gang of godless outlaws, known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worrying of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged, and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended amongst the leaves had seemed as numerous as the stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. He had been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings. How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept towards the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries. Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy. Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look. And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far. Jesper replied with a scripted response. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning. It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by the man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far, and even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage. So I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket, and at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. And for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though I will admit, the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing toward the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn, softly. There is a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed a passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat, a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. "Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box?" Without emotion, the driver replied, "There is no key to that box." Jesper stood up. Easy enough, then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimension and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure, chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. "You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed." Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. "What is it?" "That's one." Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. "One what, you mumbling agentor? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person?" The man did not seem intimidated. "1 pace." He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead." He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more, given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do, to be discovered here? Beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now. Take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if by some stroke of luck the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2. Oh my God, it's really story time today, huh? Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness but did not say a word. He nudged her again teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on 3rd watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful to not wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked toward the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached a tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn, Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on 3rd watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, but intimacy, never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. To the city seafaring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon, squinting through the leaves. The two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Black Guard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Black Bridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. They did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go. Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a Blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the Unholy Hounds came spilling forth from the earth, as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Geoffrey Heartslasher, led the others cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and a rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her, but even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed 2 bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. 2 bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. What do you guys think of story time, huh? That's it? I want more. That's it. That's the end of the book. It was a 2-part. It was a long story. You know, it was a pretty interesting little story. We don't have the magnifying glass. I don't think there's any like hidden text or anything. We could have maybe investigated these pictures. I like how in the middle of this photo on this page, you can kind of see the effigy on like a little buried mound in the middle, which is kind of cool. I'm not noticing anything else. The gang's chieftain, Joffrey Heartslasher. What a name, huh? Petition Graven to read Winnie the Pooh. There's nice little drawings. I'm not seeing anything like stick out to me in the drawings. This box looks like the 3-box puzzle, doesn't it? The design of the box that the effigy came out of reminds me of the design of the 3 boxes. We have ads coming in less than 2 minutes. True. True that. All right, well, it's a cool story. The Curse of Black Bridge. Oh my God, what were we doing? We were playing a game. What game is this? Well, all right. I think we end it there. We don't have any keys. We could maybe go through the gym and try to go this way. The ads are beginning, though. Let's see if we can get the door to work. It's locked. All right, well, I think that's that on this run. Let's switch games from here. We'll call it a day. We'll save and quit, and then maybe we can keep talking about the other door in the dining room. The other door in the dining room is also locked, as far as I remember. Yeah, it's also locked. Everything was locked. We started getting kind of screwed over by locked doors. This is a cool story. It's kind of a cool way to end the run. We still need to think about food, though. Oh yeah, food. Nom nom nom. Have dinner. Delicious. All right, 20 steps. Great. We still don't have any keys. Oh, Diggy in the outer room. Oh, you're right. All right. Well, if we're going to do all that, we got to wait for everyone to come back from ads. We can dig in the storeroom. The storeroom? Oh, was there one in the storeroom? That tracks. Change out my mouse battery. All right. Um, those damn pictures are gonna bug the shit out of me, though. Enjoyable story time. Thanks, Light and Darkness. Seemed like an appropriate tone for a kind of spooky story, I guess. I don't know. I remember where potential pebbles are. We want more Riku story time. There was that bit about darkness, right? As soon as I read it, I went, "Oh man, chat loves that." The writing in this game goes harder than it has any right to. Yeah, it does, Dax, doesn't it? The writing in this game is pretty legit. It has a very good kind of old world tone to it. You need to get a robe and a bookshelf so I can sit and we could read by the fireplace. We need to have like a crackling fireplace. You should get into reading for audiobooks. I've never done an audiobook. It's like one of the categories of things that I have not done. Pretty sure I haven't done that. I have a pipe that blows bubbles. I actually have a cob pipe. Like a curved cob pipe. I have one. Because of course I do. You know what I mean? And you have to wear your grandpa sweater. Of course you do. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Come on, chat. You know I have one of those. You know I have one of those, and I have never put tobacco in it, I'll tell you what. Darkness, darkness, something, something, darkness, yeah. Smoking would ruin your dulcet tones. Yeah, my Japanese cardigan. I know what you guys mean. I have a really nice roll collar cardigan as well. That I don't think I've ever worn on stream. I haven't worn it much lately. I used to wear it all the time. It was my favorite sweater for a long time. It's like a rolled collar cardigan. It's really classy. Need a rocking chair. One Sky, One Destiny with the resub. 4 months, One Sky. A reading stream featuring Baldazzle. Yeah, well, you know, we'd have to go in one direction or the other. You know, we either go in the cozy grandpa direction, or we go in the darkness direction, or we go in the Baldazzle direction. But I don't think they all could go together. I don't know. It's too chaotic. Audiobooks by Graven featuring Pele. Oh, God. All right. I think we're back from ads. Yeah, we're back. Okay. We're back from ads. What were we doing? We were going outside, right? Okay. We're gonna hustle. Let's get our hustle on. Okay, we lost some steps. Back in this room that was new. We go over here. Oh, we can cut across this way because we opened this door, which shortens the trip back outside. Check that out, huh? All right, wait a minute. The storeroom? Okay. A coin. God, it'd be great if we pulled the damn bookstore, right? Another coin. It's coins, coins, coins. So many coins. All right. We only have 18 steps. So we're gonna have 17 steps. We're not gonna make it all the way back to. That's what sucks about having to come all the way out here to dig the spots is that we're not gonna make it all the way back. Pebbles. We knew it. We knew it was just pebbles. Pebbles. More pebbles. We've been cursed. We've been cursed, chat. A key. You can open one locked door. Great. There's the key that we will not be able to use. A turnip +6. Ooh, +6. Footsteps. We could use some more of those. A rock. And pebbles. All right, well, can we eat all these potatoes or what? Jeez. All right, we got 22 steps. What can we do with these steps? We're about to find out. Okay, we're going to go... Okay. Through here. Excuse me. Oh, well, we could potentially. How many steps we got? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Excuse me, sorry. All right. We can make it. We can open this door, which we need a letter, or we can open this door, which we need a letter. I think we go for this door. I think we go for this door because then if we can solve the pool puzzle and then this one, we finish this word. And maybe solving this one will help us figure out what this letter should be. Okay, it's still a graph and a carafe, a graph and a giraffe. Okay, the planetarium does not have artwork. The sauna, I don't. Tomorrow you'll start the day with 20 extra steps. Ooh. The sauna does not have artwork though. It looks as if it does not have artwork. The commissary does have artwork, so we're just going to take the artwork, right? That's what we're doing here. We're doing something. Ooh. It's another key. Dun dun dun. Damn, that's pretty good. Okay, what do we have here? It's a hose in a house, right? It's a hose in a house. So it's a U. Which makes these letters O-U-N-T, ount. So this should be a C for count, or it could be an M for mount, or it could be I think that's it, right? C and M. It's a box. It's a box. All right. That's ridiculous. We have 2 steps, right? No. If it's a crate and then the graph is a rate? Is it crate and rate? That's what I thought. But how would the graph be rate? How would the word rate describe the graph? Like tracking the rate of growth? Huh. All right. Well, I mean, that does give us so the starting from the pool, right? So starting from this row right below the top, it's count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. So I think maybe the words are mixed up as well. Like maybe the words are like jumbled and we have to unscramble it to get the message properly. Or find like a key code like, 352 4, and then we rearrange the words based on that. Okay, so we have 2 steps. Let's see if we can buy the metal detector, the sledgehammer, the salt shaker, and a gem. So none of this will give us steps, right? The salt shaker isn't going to give us steps, right? Because we can't just eat the salt. We need salt for our fries. You can eat the salt if you're not a coward. I'm not afraid. Whenever you eat food and gain footsteps, you gain an extra step. Take that, chat. I have the salt. I have the salt. Okay, so now if I do this, right? The office, the tunnel. Tunnel's like completely useless. What's that? Tunnel's like completely useless. Why does it look like there's a little cassette tape? As soon as we enter the pool room, it'll end the day. So we won't be able to open the door even though we have a key, which is like kind of annoying. So let's just look in here. Ooh. A coin. A paint and a pint. Oh, you know what would be sick? If we got a turnip. So we could turn up, you know? Coins. Great. Great. I need coins clearly. Clearly coins. And a key. That's great. Insult to injury game. Thank you. Give me a turnip. Another key. Oh, thanks. Another key. Wonderful. All the keys. Look, we have so many keys now. Everything's great. 3 keys. Not one turnip. So we could turn up, you know? Not one. Can't buy food in the commissary. We just pass out. All right, we're going to call it a day. I think that's it for the day, too. That was it. That was one hell of a run. We got a big old story time. We got a couple of extra letters. We weren't able to make too much progress on anything else, but I think that's definitely the run for today. We're running a little over the block, as usual with this game. Garden excavation site, because we excavated so many. We excavated 28 dig spots and found all the keys at the last minute. And a pass out in the dining room with 3 keys and a pocket full of pennies. Yep. True. Well, progress was made. A little bit of progress. All right, let's go back to chat real quick.